Imagine being in France, in Tarbes, during the winter of 1999. There, a young 13-year-old Spanish Rafael Nadal has just lost in the semifinals of the Le Petit A tennis tournament, the unofficial world championship for 12 to 14-year-olds, to Richard Gasquet, a French talent of the same age. In this video, we will examine the virtues of failure, as analyzed by the French philosopher Charles Pépin in his book in French, Les Vertus de l'Échec. 1. Learning from failure to improve quickly. Let's come back to the loss of the young Rafael Nadal against Richard Gasquet in 1999. Although it seems like a setback, this defeat actually turns out to be a pivotal moment in Nadal's career. Gasquet was then considered a prodigy, but despite his talent, he has not reached the heights achieved by Nadal, who would later become the world number one and remain there for years. Nadal, on his part, turned this defeat into a life lesson. He learned, adapted, and developed a unique style that took him to the top of the world tennis ranks. Nadal failed early and learned from his defeats, which helped him excel quickly. In contrast, Gasquet, who experienced early success, may not have had the opportunity to learn from his mistakes as early in his career. What's the takeaway? Early failures push us to question, analyze, and adapt our strategies. They are powerful catalysts for learning and growth. 2. Error as the sole means of understanding. Gaston Bachelard, a renowned French philosopher, explains that even the greatest scientists start by making mistakes. They hold false beliefs. What makes them scientists is their ability to test these beliefs, to question them in the face of reality, and above all, to correct them. This is the only path to discovery and comprehension. Take the example of Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before he succeeded in inventing the electric light bulb. But each failure taught him something new, ultimately leading to his great success. What should we take away from this? We should not see error as something negative or shameful, but as an essential step in the process of learning and discovery. 3. Failure to help us assert our character. Let's now examine how failure can be a potent engine for asserting one's character. This idea is highlighted by Abraham Lincoln. His life was littered with failures. They included bankruptcies at 31 and 34, repeated electoral losses in legislative and local elections, and defeats in congressional and Senate elections. He also had to face personal trials, such as the loss of a loved one and a period of depression. Despite these obstacles, Lincoln persevered and ultimately became President of the United States at the age of 60, playing a crucial role in the abolition of slavery and changing the course of history. This story underscores a key concept. Failure pushes us to reflect on our aspirations and, sometimes, to realize that our passion is stronger than the obstacles we encounter. Failure is a necessary step in the process of success. Michael Jordan, a basketball icon, sums up this idea perfectly. I've missed over 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over in my life, and that's why I succeeded. Each missed shot, each lost game contributed to forging the champion he became. The road to success is paved with obstacles, but it is by overcoming them that you forge an indomitable character. 4. Failure as a lesson in humility. Let's consider how failure can be a lesson in humility. It helps us let go of the delusion of omnipotence and to acknowledge our limitations. Even Albert Einstein recognized the importance of humility in the quest for knowledge, admitting that his struggles with mathematics were a sign of his deep commitment to understanding the universe. What should we take away from this? Failure is an opportunity to recognize our limits, reassess our aspirations, and develop a wiser approach to life. 5. Failure as an experience of reality. The Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius encourages us to accept what is beyond our control and to focus our efforts on what we can change. This awareness can free us from unnecessary frustration and allow us to direct our energy where it can truly make a difference. The renowned musician and singer Ray Charles faced significant trials from a young age. He lost his sight at 7, experienced the trauma of his younger brother's drowning death, and lost his mother at the age of 15. However, he chose not to be defeated by circumstances beyond his will. Instead, Ray Charles made a conscious decision to focus on his talent and passion, accepting the realities he could not change and using them as a springboard for his success. Thus, he not only overcame his difficulties, but also became one of the most influential and respected artists of his time. Number 6. Failure as an opportunity to reinvent oneself. Let's now delve into another aspect of failure. Charles Darwin dropped out of his medical and theological studies and embarked on the Beagle Voyage. This voyage was pivotal in his calling as a naturalist and in his understanding of evolutionary mechanisms. J.K. Rowling is another striking example. Her personal and professional struggles, rather than defeating her, propelled her to focus on her passion for writing, leading to the global phenomenon of Harry Potter. These are prime examples of how failures can open us up to new possibilities and directions, and become stepping stones to extraordinary success. So let's see failure as an opportunity for growth, transformation, and creative renewal. Number 7. Failure as a fortunate accident. Psychoanalysis, particularly through the works of Freud and Lacan, suggests that every failed act can reveal unconscious desires. Take Soichiro Honda as an example. His inability to secure an engineering position at Toyota could be interpreted as an unconsciously deliberate mistake. This failure allowed him to realize his true aspiration, to establish an innovative company. Such failures are moments where, despite a conscious intention, the unconscious finds a way to manifest itself, often leading to unexpected but meaningful outcomes. Hence, failure can be a powerful source of knowledge and innovation. It forces us to reconsider our intentions and desires, often revealing aspects of ourselves that we had not contemplated. Number 8. Why does failure hurt so much? The pain we feel in the face of failure is often exacerbated by the way we interpret this failure, especially in societies where the culture of error is not highly valued. We tend to confuse having failed with being a failure, leading to an excessive identification with our failures. Failure can be seen as a transition point to new opportunities and experiences, a time for questioning and reorientation, allowing us to rediscover and reinvent ourselves. Conversely, we may view mistakes as a misuse of our reason, which will reinforce our feelings of shame or inadequacy, thus limiting our capacity to learn constructive lessons and make progress. Therefore, coping better with failure involves redefining it not as a judgment on our personal growth, but rather as an experience that is part of a learning process. We can then transform the pain and frustration of failure into sources of motivation. Charles Pepin also points out the fact that our failures and disappointments are essential for experiencing forms of authentic and enriching joy. One form of this joy is the intense satisfaction felt after overcoming significant obstacles, as demonstrated by the example of Andre Agassi, who after a period of personal and professional decline, comes back to win Roland Garros. Number 9. To dare is to risk failure. All great achievements begin with taking a risk, which involves the potential acceptance of failure. The life of the audacious British entrepreneur Richard Branson illustrates the importance of boldness and risk-taking. As the founder of the Virgin brand, he has diversified his activities into numerous fields, from aviation to space tourism. Despite notable setbacks like Virgin Cola or Virgin Pulse, an unsuccessful competitor to the iPod, he learned from his mistakes. Branson believes that living daringly is essential, even at the risk of failure. So, how can we learn to dare? Charles Pepin suggests several ways to develop boldness. 1. Increase your competence. Master your comfort zone and then dare to step out of it. 2. Admire the boldness of others. Draw inspiration from people who have demonstrated boldness. 3. Avoid being overly perfectionistic. Acknowledge that action frees from fear and accept imperfection. 4. Be aware that the most painful regrets often come from not having taken a chance. In summary, to learn to dare, it is crucial to develop one's skills, to be inspired by the successes of others, to tolerate imperfection, and to remember that not trying at all can be more painful than failing after having dared. Number 10. Succeeding in success. Charles Pepin also delves into the concept of succeeding in success. What does he mean? He emphasizes the importance of continuous self-questioning and innovation, even after achieving success. 1. See success as a challenge. To succeed in success means to perceive it as an opportunity for learning and reinvention, not as an end in itself. Artists such as David Bowie and Prince show how a consistent approach to renewal and questioning can lead to enduring success. 2. Manage success with humility. Successes should be handled with humility and caution, avoiding being locked into a single image or achievement. 3. See success as a beginning. Each success should be approached not as a finishing point, but as a starting point for new ventures and challenges. To stay on top, it is crucial to innovate and not rest on one's laurels. This involves always striving to improve and reinvent oneself. 4. Success and responsibility. Success brings responsibility and an obligation to continue creating, exploring, and exceeding one's limits. In summary, success should not be a state of complacency, but a driver to continue to develop, innovate, and excel. This requires an attitude of humility, curiosity, and a commitment to ongoing learning and growth. In conclusion, instead of fearing failure or seeing it as a sign of weakness, we can embrace it as a crucial step on the path to personal growth, self-discovery, and the ultimate realization of our potential. Failure is not an end, but a passage, an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more in tune with ourselves and the world around us.